when our beautiful little girl, Eowyn, that's from Lord of the Rings, means horse lover. She's my little warrior princess. She's incredible. Of course, we've been telling everybody that my beautiful bride, Loretta, and I, we just celebrated our 24th year of marriage. We had Eowyn consciously, in a deep act of love, for our daughter Lucinda, our oldest daughter Lucinda, and her husband Jordan to raise as their own, because despite trying, they can't seem to have one of their own. So I instantly, as a dad, would have been our fourth time around. Actually, I instantly became Papa, and Loretta is Nana. And what a beautiful, miraculous being of light that Eowyn is. During that process, Loretta and I went in on January 1st, and I think I have another video where I talk about it a little on YouTube. We went on January 1st. She wasn't due until like the 16th, like 2.5 weeks away. We went in just for a normal doctor's appointment, and Loretta's blood pressure was elevated. All these different things were going on. The doctor said, well, guess what? You're having a baby today. And of course, she totally freaked out. It really took, especially Loretta, a couple hours to really come to terms with, okay, this is in the best interest of Loretta and of the baby. And when we did finally ultimately get from the doctor's office to the hospital, the blood pressure was going all over the place. They gave Loretta something for her blood pressure, and it caused it to plummet so incredibly that her blood pressure it dropped. And she turned white as a ghost, and all these people come running in, and they're like, well, I guess it was a little more than what she could. And it's an interesting experience for me. I did kind of okay. Kept breathing. And then, she went in and she had to have a C-section rather than natural birth, which Loretta obviously wasn't happy about. Eowyn came out an absolute miracle. It was a little longer than I would have liked of her being on the opposite side of the room from Loretta. I kept trying to usher Eowyn to her mother's breast, and eventually I was able to succeed with that, but I was going back and forth between Loretta and the baby in surgery. And then Loretta goes into a little holding room. At this point, I haven't had anything to eat or even drink, not even water, in hours at that point. And remember, take care of yourself first. All of a sudden, Loretta's having blood pressure issues again, so people come in and they give her, I guess it was the same medication. And over the next minute or so, her blood pressure dropped so rapidly that the only words that could come out of Loretta's mouth were, I'm fading, I'm fading. And all these alarms start going off. And literally a dozen technicians, doctors, all kinds of people come running in. Loretta literally turned... She went from white, started turning a shade of blue. And here's my point in this video. I'm going to return to that story. My point in this video is this. Who will have your back? What do I mean by that? We spend all these times making these great personas and these great memes and all this great social media stuff to be great way showers and teachers, blah, blah, blah. Y'all know my feelings on that, and I have to do it myself too. And sometimes I feel, I can kind of get into it. Other times I'm like, what's really going on here? I just want to be real and authentic with you. I really hope that the viewers are picking this up. I have zero interest in facade. I just want to have all my warts and everything out for you. So that's why people thank me a lot for talking about my own life, my personal life. And it's like, well, what else am I going to talk about? Somebody else's life? Although a lot of people do, My point in that is this. People think that, it's the ones that look like these great spiritual warriors. Remember, Eowyn, spiritual warrior? Or, the warrior princess? That are going to be able to be the light bearers if things really start happening on a society level or a world level, an earthly level, and stuff gets really, really challenging. And what I'm saying is this. Your lucidity and consciousness and awareness in moments of true impact on your energy body will have 0% to do with what you believe, any thought that you've ever had. Your thoughts are nothing but delusions of a mind that's not there in the first place. There is no mind that is separate from God. Okay? There is none. There is no individualized thought. All of that it's all part of that movie that you're experiencing in a theater that feels so real, and you're a character in the movie, and you're dreaming the movie, and you're producing and directing the movie, but yet there's no movie and there's no theater. But it feels so real. There's only the one and or the absolute experiencing itself. As Alan Watts said, we are the universe looking at itself from billions of points of view. And I have that light pen that I use so often that sheds all these lasers all over my face. My point is this. We spend so much time to do all these things, but if you want to know how ready you would really be in that kind of a situation, it's amazing that decades of work. I've been doing this kind of work since I was 7 was the biblical stuff. When I was 14, I really got deeper into it. By the time I was 21 is when I started doing the really deeper, actually 20. I was, 19. I was 19. So this is 41 years of that deeper work, or 31 years of that really deep work now. And everything I had learned, especially on those last 3+ decades, getting ready to go into 32 years of that, everything came to play in those moments when Loretta's blood pressure dropped to possibly fatal levels. None of the beliefs mattered. The religion meant nothing. Philosophy, thoughts, all the thoughts that I thought, change your thoughts, change your life. No, change your thoughts changes how you interact in the movie theater that's not real in the first place, okay? That's not your life, because you're not what's on the screen. You are not the film strip and the projector. You're the light in the projector, but there's no screen, there's no film strip, and there's no projector. There's simply that light. And when you are truly sort of kind of like taking a car from going on flat land to going at a 45-degree angle, all of a sudden you find out what you're really made of. And all that mattered in those moments was, can I stay open and conscious and keep my breath moving and allow myself to feel what I'm feeling? Because it took all of that to keep from passing out when my absolute beloved, for all intents and purposes, looked like she could have possibly been slipping away. What I'm saying is this: the beating on the chest and all the stuff of I am the great leader of whatever, 100% of it is utter and complete BS. It's bullshit. It's belief systems, okay? If you come from a place of honor, you come from a place of authenticity, of openness, be aware of the rise and fall of your breath. Allow that humility, that video that, I don't know if I put it out yet or not, but the Lakota quote, let the wind blow through you. Third beatitude, not blessed are the meek, but blessed are those makike, of absolute humility. Humility comes from the Latin root humus, which is that layer of earth that's porous and dark, and water and air can move through it. Why? Because it's open. There's a flow. The Tao is like a river flowing home to the sea. Intriguing. What does your body want to do when you feel humiliated? It wants to go fall down into the earth. And there is a great line in the Tao Te Ching that says, only the leader who can process and or take on the humiliation of the people is fit to rule them. Does that sound like one of our recent leaders? Any of our recent leaders? Maybe a little, maybe not at all. It all comes down to, can I stay conscious in this moment? And again, what you believe doesn't matter. Your religion means nothing in these moments. What matters is, can I be in the presence of the absolute, literally looking into the face of God, and still stay open? Because that face is much closer than you realize. I love you.